Welcome to the Scio Township Board of Trustees meeting, August 25th, 2026. Let's call this meeting to order at 6:02.
6:02.
Roll call, please.
Carey,
Present.
Yapel,
Present.
Flintoff, present. Brandt,
Here.
Noel, here. Reed, here. Riser, absent. Also present. Okay. Also present, Operations Manager Christy Aiken and Township Attorney Mariah Fink.
All right, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And to the adoption of the agenda. Before we begin this meeting, actually, I have something to say as this is an official statement by the Township Supervisor. I must address a serious breach of statutory procedure and legal protocol that occurred at our last meeting. A motion to adopt the agenda failed in a 3-3 tie vote. While the Michigan Open Meetings Act does not explicitly require an agenda, our own adopted rules of order mandate this structure. Because the motion failed, the board legally had no approved roadmap. Instead of seeking a compromise, the township clerk unilaterally took over the floor, presented unapproved motions, and attempted to moderate the meeting. I must remind this board that under MCL 41.72A, the township supervisor is the statutory moderator of all board meetings. The law dictates that the supervisor and only the supervisor chairs the meetings. Regular, special, and closed session. The supervisor controls the floor and recognizes speakers. This is also under MCL 41.72A. The clerk's statutory role is to serve as the objective record keeper, not the chair. I did my best to moderate that last meeting 2 meetings ago, but my statutory duty was completely unsupported. Sitting in silence while an officer takes over as chair makes this board complicit, exposing our township to severe legal liabilities and the potential invalidation of our votes. This dysfunction is a symptom of a much deeper hostile work environment and toxic culture we have allowed to fester in our township hall. To date, rarely has a board member presented a single actionable idea to fix. While this board sits in silence, our township is hemorrhaging talent, losing 14 staff members since we took office on November 20th, 2024, culminating most recently in the resignation of our new finance director. We are facing compounding crisis in our finance department, severe backlogs in FOIA fulfillment, and active workplace violence investigation against a member of this very board of trustees, and recently formed employee union. When will this board stand up and wake up? Our current trajectory is unsustainable, which is why later today I am presenting a proposal to establish a sergeant-at-arms position. This role is a direct response to the operational crisis during our board meetings. It is designed to act as a vital structural buffer to ensure public decorum is strictly maintained, meeting rules are adhered to, and hostile dynamics are brought to a halt.
Apologies.
As a board, we should be policing ourselves and maintaining strict professional boundaries, but we haven't. If we had taken personal responsibility and managed our own behavior, followed the law, followed our own rules, this position would not be presented today. Nor would we face the need for third-party assessments of our township culture, workplace violence investigations, or external conflict resolution, all at a mounting unnecessary expense of our taxpayers. To satisfy any concerns regarding the authority of this role, it will potentially, if this is adopted, will replace the sheriff's officer who currently attends our meetings. Apparently not tonight, but reducing overall cost while maintaining a safe environment for all attendees. This position is strictly forbidden from policing or interfering with the statutory powers of the elected officials on this board. It holds zero authority. Never mind, he's on his way in. It holds zero authority over you or your vote. It is strictly an administrative tool to protect the dignity of this institution so township business can be conducted safely and legally. It has absolutely nothing to do with the daily hall staff. Moving forward, this board will operate strictly within the boundaries of the Michigan law, our approved rules of order, principle of good governance, and established municipal best practices. We were elected to perform a duty, and we can't do so when we're disrespectful of our electors and also the seats that we were elected to perform. We owe it to our staff to guarantee a healthy workplace, just as we owe it to our residents and taxpayers to exercise strict fiscal responsibility and absolute transparency. As a legal moderator, I will maintain control of this floor. No trustee or officer will be permitted to speak without being properly recognized by this chair, and no unapproved business will bypass our voting procedures. It is time to restore our integrity and decorum in this hall. So, is there a motion to adopt this agenda as is?
No.
Okay. Trustee Brandt, what is your suggestion?
I would like to remove K6 from consent.
All right, K6. Are you asked to speak? Microphones, please.
Supervisor,
Trustee Reed?
may I ask Trustee Brandt why?
Yes.
I will explain when the agenda item is before the board.
Any other amendments?
Yes.
Yes, I have one.
Yes.
Excuse me. Trustee, or Treasurer Abel, we're next.
Thank you. I'd like to table 05 specifically because Director Clark is not able to be with us this evening.
Support?
Any other suggested changes? Trustee Noel, you had something?
Yes, I would like to pull K1 from consent, put it on new business.
Okay. Okay, any other changes?
Supervisor?
Yes.
I would like to add the introduction of Juanita Moore to special topics, please.
Okay.
Could you repeat that, Christy? I couldn't hear
Yes,
you.
the introduction of Juanita Moore
Okay.
under special topics. Thanks.
Any other suggested, Trustee Reed?
I can't remember the number. I'd like to table 02, given the fact that we received this afternoon at, I don't know, noon, 1 o'clock, some information that puts a different spin on this whole thing, and I would like time to digest it, maybe visit the site and see what's going on.
All right, any other suggested changes? Trustee, Clerk Flintoff?
Yeah, I would just note that we do have a motion and a second on the table regarding 05.
Okay, I will take care of that when we have, when we're finished with the suggested changes.
I have one.
Okay?
Don't want to be left out. I would like to move the fire chief's report from regular reports into the consent agenda.
Support.
Okay.
So now we have two motions on the table, each seconded
All right.
in violation of our rules and procedure. How do you want to handle that?
Any other suggested changes?
No, but can I ask a procedural question? Because if somebody wants to pull something, but there's no second, but then if somebody wants to post something in, there's a second. Does the second have significance when we're adopting our agenda? And I genuinely don't know, which is why.
What did the rules of order say?
Let me look, I printed them out.
The removal of consent is by demand of any one member, and
And
then,
then the supervisor can place it anywhere on the agenda.
right, but any properly laid
You were not
motion
called
with a
upon.
second is on the table.
You're not called upon.
So we had Riser and Reed on the second motion, Jillian, is that correct?
So K6, that was Ryan and Jessica. Is there a motion to remove that from consent to new business? I mean, there's a motion, is there, is there,
It was 05. You guys.
Sorry, it was a motion by Yeaple to table 05, supported by Flintoff.
oh, never mind. All in favor, say aye.
Wait, are we going to vote, Jillian? On each one individually right now?
Yeah, that's what we're
She just
doing.
called.
Okay, okay. Do a voice vote.
She just did.
Oh,
Are we voting to approve the agenda?
No,
No.
we're voting
No.
to approve
Not-
tabling 05. We have a motion by
Yeaple.
Treasurer Yeaple and support by Clerk Flintoff. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Well, okay, we need to do a roll call
Yeah, we need
vote
to do a
because
roll
we did
call.
not. Please start with the beginning. Who's
Okay,
first?
per our rules of order tonight, we're starting with Supervisor Carey. Carey?
Yes.
Yeaple?
Yes.
Flintoff, yes. Brandt?
Yes.
Noel?
no.
Reed?
Yes.
Riser?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-1.
Okay, a motion by Riser, support by Reed, I believe, to remove the fire chief's report, L3, from regular reports to consent. Voice vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. All right, O2. That was a motion by Trustee Reed, and was there support?
I'll support it.
Okay,
And what was the motion?
to remove or to table O2, revocation of CUP number 10, 8-point landscaping 6985 Jackson. Roll call, please.
Carey?
Yes.
Yeaple?
No.
Flintoff, no. Brandt?
No.
Noel?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Riser?
No.
Motion fails 3-4.
Okay. Let's see, and so K6, that was Trustee Brandt, and was there support to remove that from consent?
It doesn't require support.
For
Point
K1
of
or
order,
K6.
it does not require
Okay.
support.
All right, fine. Is there
Go ahead.
No, you go
Trustee
ahead.
Reed?
Go ahead.
Can I ask Trustee Brandt if she would accept tabling it for our next meeting rather than putting it on new business or old business, wherever you ask for it? Tabling it for the next meeting.
No.
And I would support that.
It's just by demand, and then Jillian chooses where it goes on new business. That's how it works for K1 and K6.
consent?
So where do you want it, Jillian?
I have it under new business after K1.
So after 06, or where do you?
Well, it's, no, before '06. After what was '05.
So you want K1 and
K6.
K6, and then 06, okay.
I move the agenda
Oh.
as modified.
I'm sorry, one more thing. '03,
Apologies.
That is possible action consideration of a memorandum of understanding related to, and that was a potential closed session. And we need to have a closed session, then a couple multimodal, and I would suggest that we move that from 03 to right before 06. I'll have to, because we're going to have people waiting here.
I would also note we have staff involved in 03, and having it earlier would allow them to go home. My understanding from the preparer is that it shouldn't take long.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Support? I'll
Support.
Okay.
I just want to clarify that includes Juanita? Okay.
Special topics? Our roll call vote, please.
Carrie?
Yes.
Yeaple?
Yes.
Flintoff, yes. Brandt?
Yes.
Noel?
Yes.
Reed?
No.
Riser?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-1.
Declaration of conflict. None, moving on. Correspondence is received. We did receive an email today with many correspondences. They were uploaded to the,
As of 10 a.m. today.
okay, thank you. All right, special topics. Operations Manager Aiken, would you please introduce our,
Thank you. I would just like to take a moment to introduce Juanita Moore, our new Human Resources Manager, and we're pleased to have her part of our Scio team, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you. Great.
I would like this included in the packet, please. All right, public comments. This is the time for members of the public to speak to the Board of Trustees for up to 5 minutes on any matter. We begin with anybody present. Please come to the table and speak into the microphone. Maybe? Does it work?
She just needs to turn it on, yeah.
If there's a power button, I should probably be able to do that.
Yep, right in the front there, the square. Did it
Oh.
come? You know what?
Is the base power turned on?
Yeah. Tip it over, Mary, I'm sorry.
On the bottom, there's just a
Yep,
round circle.
there's a circle, just hold it down.
About 3 to 5 seconds. There you go.
Yep, there.
And then it'll be red, and if you hit the red, it'll turn green. Once
There we
it,
go.
it takes a moment just to pair up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to. A moment, please. And I just wrote it down. For board members, please turn your phones off and actually put them away. And also, board members, please speak into your microphones. Public comments, there's a timer over there. Please keep an eye on that, and when your 5 minutes is up, please end. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Mary Gillis, Scio resident, Democratic nominee for the seat of trustee. I'd like to speak to item 04 first. I've been keeping up with the Multimodal Committee and Bus Alliance meetings, and what is clear from attending those meetings is this: the budget gap between what the millage brings in and what we are being charged for the upcoming fiscal year is substantially less than was originally feared. And the cost in terms of stress, inconvenience, and outright denial of service to those who need public transportation in Scio Township is very high. Let's not make a change to the level of service we currently provide. Given our environmental and human concerns, we should be seeking ways to enlarge bus service across the township. That doesn't seem to be possible in the current environment, but let's at least not decrease service. Thanks are owed to Treasurer Yeaple for leading efforts to find alternative funding sources. Second, I'd like to address item 05, which would change out the services of a member of the Sheriff's Department with a Sergeant-at-Arms who would assist the supervisor chairperson with maintaining order and decorum at board meetings. I leave it to the members of this board who have felt physically threatened in the past to state whether they feel that that threat has passed. Let's ask them. I have not noticed a repeat of members of the public charging up to the dais, angrily repeating their already stated grievances. nor have I seen a repeat of the infamous chair throwing incident that followed one decision unpopular with some. But let's ask those who felt threatened enough to ask for police presence if they feel things have cooled down enough to let that go. But this proposal conflates the issue of physical threat with loss of control by the meeting moderator. As Will Hathaway should have learned, but perhaps never did, just because the moderator doesn't get their way doesn't mean the meeting is out of control. Rather than seeking to have a second outside voice reiterating the rules of order, I would be more comfortable if the operations director took on that role. I would like to see the chair manage this meeting as she does other meetings, with a collegial, friendly demeanor that allows the other adults in the room to speak and ask questions without fear of reprimand. This leads to consensus-type decisions that everyone can choose to accept without resentment because their voice has been heard without fear or favor. That's my recommendation. Thank you.
Defamation. Anyone else present?
Sí, señores. Caroline Altamar, Scio resident. I am asking board members to please speak up when rules of order are violated. I'm seconding what the supervisor said in her opening statement. It is frustrating to see certain regular board members break the rules and see what looks to us like the supervisor fighting up there all by herself. Frankly, your silence at their misbehavior for the last 2 years has contributed to the entitlement that they feel. You have nothing to lose and a lot of respect to gain if you call out in that moment rule of order. Don't sit silent when they run roughshod over the supervisor, please. Ryan, I am once again calling you out on your highly inappropriate email to MLive.
Foul.
Pardon me? Pardon me?
Excuse me.
I said foul. I said that last meeting. It's-
Call to order.
Pardon me, she asked the question. I had said in the last meeting, if people start directing their comments directly
No,
to...
you are not to police
It's supposed
this
to be to
meeting.
the entire
You will be
board.
removed if you
Call for a
continue.
5-minute recess.
No. God.
Support.
Call the question on the
Support.
question of going to recess.
Support.
There's no debate on this procedural motion per our rules of order. 10.3.
Okay, let's see if it gets a 2/3 vote.
Okay, roll call, please.
John, I don't see the requirement for 2/3, just FYI.
Roberts, section 60.
Okay. We'll do the vote, and then we'll ask for a ruling from our attorney. Carrie? For a recess?
No.
Carrie? Yeaple?
Yes.
Flintoff, yes. Brandt?
Yes.
Noel?
Yes.
Reed?
No.
Riser?
No.
The vote is 4-3. A question about what that means. Rule 10.3 has a procedural motion. Trustee Riser, I believe you're referring to 13.1. Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised, shall be used as a guideline to govern all questions of procedure not otherwise provided for by these rules or by state or federal law. However, the township shall not be required to strictly adhere to Robert's Rules of Order.
If it's easier, I can change my vote to a no, especially if it's gonna take us 5 minutes to do this, but,
Your vote is no.
I mean, I can change my vote the other way to make it a 2/3.
I think we're each allowed to vote once. That's a principle of democracy all the way around.
We're trying to accommodate the majority. No.
Five-minute break, be back at 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay, back to public comments.
Do I get to start over?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will start over. Caroline Altamar, Scio resident. I am asking board members to please speak up when you see rules of order being violated. It is frustrating to see certain regular board members break the rules and see what looks to us like the supervisor fighting up there alone. Frankly, your silence at their misbehavior for 2 years contributed to this entitlement that they feel. You have nothing to lose and a lot of respect to gain if you call out in the moment rule of order. Don't sit silent when they run roughshod over the supervisor, please. I am calling out the treasurer on your highly inappropriate email to MLive calling for some kind of documentation regarding Jillian's legal expenses. Frankly, I'm calling out the entire board over the silence. No response, really, over his doing that. I'm also calling you out, Mr. Senior Treasurer, over the very sloppy way the MTC meetings in August were handled. No recordings, no agenda, or minutes for the August meetings until just now. In those meetings, we all heard you say that you were in full support of fully funding WAVE for the next year until October 2027. Yet, there is nothing in the agenda item reflecting that. Actually, just an oblique reference to an email that was sent. By the way, whenever you are asked about the $300K that you are asking back from the county, all we ever hear is, quote, still looking into that, unquote. It's been months. Really? No progress? Considering the grave importance of this issue, you need to do better. I urge you all to fully fund WAVE until October 2027. Jessica, you cite this phrase fiduciary responsibility often. Yet you campaign and vote for sheriff attendance using the general fund as an ATM as your comments in the April Board of Trustees meeting and the RAC presentations. I remind you of Brian Kamler's words, do not use the general fund for year in, year out expenses. The sheriff is another failure, an amount approved and yet we run over, hardly sound financial management and no discussion at a board meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Caroline. Good evening, Pat Stein, longtime resident. I would like to address this board on agenda item 05. I understand it was tabled, but were it to come up again, I think it's important that I point out a few things. 05 is the supervisor's motion to hire an individual to act as a sergeant-at-arms meeting safety officer at Scio Township board meetings. Along with her motion, the supervisor included a 3-page job description and the 2-page resolution for this position. Both documents noting the sergeant-at-arms would only address any behavior issues under the supervisor's direction. So I have a question for this board is who's going to check the checker? Who's going to watch the watcher? And who's going to monitor the meeting moderator? I ask this because the supervisor regularly displays behavior issues of her own. The supervisor is wanting township board meetings to be conducted orderly with civility, professionalism, and meeting decorum. Her written words indicate she would like the board to follow their adopted rules of order and meeting procedures. That's per her written words, but her actual boardroom conduct indicates otherwise. The last board meeting that was held on July 11th is a prime example of the many ways Supervisor Carey has violated all the same rules she is accusing other board members of not following. Watch the video for that night and you will see how from the very start, Jillian Carey, our supervisor, snapping at the other board members, especially her quick, hateful tone, telling the clerk that she did not have her permission to speak when the clerk asked Ryan how many applications he had. Not at all what you would call an appropriate response. Then there the angry excessive force used to smack down the gavel or slam and close each section of her board binder. Moving on to the public comments at that meeting, where the expectation is that the public comments are to be addressed to the entire board, not targeting individual board members. As 2 members of the public directly targeted their comments and In accusations at Trustee Branch, Treasurer Yapel, and Clerk Flintoff, the supervisor never called them out for not directing their comments to the entire board. I was the only member of the public that the supervisor called out on this. And why did she single me out? Because I was directing my comments at her. The other members of the public were directing their attacks to the same board members the supervisor targets with her own accusations and unchecked unpleasantness. In essence, she encourages and condones their behavior. Let us not forget the supervisor's misuse of her time for the regular reports as her platform for ranting and rambling about her own ongoing grievances ad nauseum. All that I have just mentioned are examples of Supervisor Carey's inappropriate behavior during Scio Township board meetings. The most egregious behavior was 2 meetings ago during her total abuse of power in using her comments against a candidate's spouse to influence voters against the candidate for trustee. Thankfully, voters saw the supervisor's intent and the candidate was successful in winning her seat as trustee-elect, Mary Gillis. In short, the supervisor's motion to hire a sergeant at arms is premature. We first need to address and educate the supervisor, meeting moderator, on what is considered professional, civil, boardroom decorum before she can assume a role of directing a sergeant of arms on what is actionable boardroom behavior. I ask this board to vote no on Supervisor Carey's motion to hire a sergeant at arms. Such a motion is not the answer to the supervisor's own behavior toward others. I will not apologize for disrupting this meeting by calling foul. I told you 2 meetings ago that the supervisor is not moderating the meeting and letting select people not address the board but target board members. That is not the process, remember? Practice is public comments are to be addressed to the board, not target individuals. And for that, I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Anyone else
Pat.
present? Hi, Renee.
Good evening. Give me 1 second. Good evening to the entire board. I would like to, excuse me, I'm just making sure my husband is okay. I would like to say a thank you, and I am, as a resident, afraid to say thank you. But I'm going to try and do it correctly, and hopefully that will not be a problem for this board or audience. If I'm incorrect, please point it out to me from the board. I just want to say thank you from a previous meeting where I had a great deal of confusion, and it would have been the transit meeting, one of the transit meetings, and 2 of the trustees that attended that. Am I able to mention my name who I'd like to thank? I would like to thank, I just got 2 nods. I would like to thank Kathy Knoll and Trustee Knoll and Trustee Reed came and explained some numbers to me after the meeting. And that was very important because it was helpful to me. It took one thing off Ryan's task list, which I just want to let him know. I have the information. And also it showed the importance of communication with residents. With that said, moving forward, I would like to say that my name has once again been mentioned in a bulletin that is a community news information, I will explain it as, called Scio News. And I want to clarify what was said there, and I want to testify that I indeed said this. It was quoted as, if you'll excuse me, it was quoted that I got my news from Scio News. I get my news from this board. I get my news from a bulletin that is done by a contracted employee named Mary Gillis. This was put out this summer. By the way, there's a note on it. There were 13 articles in here, not one notification of anything about the meetings for the multi-transit. So we might want to check on how this job is getting done. With that said, I got a Facebook post that told the dates, and I came because I was interested. Mary Gillis, who is on the election to be held in November, she quoted me that she knew that I got my news from Scio News. Let me tell everyone, including the future possible trustee, no one spoke to me. Not the person who does this article, not the head of Scio News, until they came to me and said, we need to confirm that you get your news, because we were told, and it is in print, that you get your news from Scio News. Let me make it very clear. That is not where I get it. I get it from you. I get it from this. This is letting me down. I get it here. So that is an incorrect, dishonest statement that was made about me. I don't like that. I don't appreciate it. And I'd like to see that you all take a minute, perhaps look at Scio News and read that article that references my name. With that said, it was also alleged that Scio News, as a journalist, gave poor sourcing and preferred journalistic targets. It's hard to have faith in the purported neutrality of Scio News. I think we all know that everybody has an opinion, and that includes the people on this board. So I would like to make sure that we understand I was referenced as a statement by a possible future person that could be on this board. I'm saying here to all of you, that was a falsehood, clearly. If anyone has any more questions, please talk to me. I get my information here. I don't get it from people who might be on this board, and I don't like the fact that someone might reference me that works for the board and puts out information. And if we're talking about getting information out, 13 articles for the summer bulletin, nothing of the 2 meetings that were so important to what we're doing here. And those people, one of them, Lee Benton, his letter is in my hands right now, because those things that were going on, those meetings were important. And they weren't important enough, but it was important enough to give an interview, say I said something to something that I haven't spoken to that person since I paid my taxes a year and a half ago. With that, I will again say thank you so much for important numbers that I needed. I'm trying to understand. I'm sorry if I'm frustrated, but it's hard to come into this and see this. So thank you. Make sure if you see Scio News, please understand I didn't
Okay,
say those
thank you,
things that
Renee.
were said.
Anyone else present
Thanks,
would like to
Renee.
speak? Hi.
Good evening, Madam Chairwoman.
Good evening.
Members of the board. My name is Jordan Siegel. I'm an attorney with the firm of Madden, Hauser, Roth, and Heller in Southfield, Michigan. I'm here tonight on behalf of 8 Point, the owner and operator of the property located at 6985 Jackson Road.
Jordan, you're going to get an opportunity at the public hearing if you want to waive.
This is the public hearing? No? Got it. So you want me to reserve until the
That's
happy to reserve? I will speak to you in a few minutes.
It might even give you more than 5 minutes. If you can.
I won't need
Yeah.
more than 5 minutes.
Oh,
Thank you.
excellent.
Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt.
Thank you, Jordan, sorry.
Okay. Well, anyone else present would like to speak? Come to the table.
Rob Pattinson, Scio Township resident.
Rob.
The board meeting 2 weeks ago was a disaster because you couldn't agree on an agenda for over half an hour. Clearly, Jessica has decided that the rules of order don't apply to her, and she, Ryan, and Kathleen will follow her rules. There are 26 municipalities in Washtenaw County served by the sheriff. Scio is the only one with a deputy present. As Jonathan reported from his FOIAs with the county, we have spent over $12,000 having law enforcement present for board meetings. That's more than double what was approved by this board last year. Tonight you have to discuss bringing a sergeant at arms. Yes, it's less expensive, but there is a better solution. As Carolyn said earlier, how about when the filibustering begins or when someone interrupts the speaker and Jillian calls to order? How about if David, John, or Kathy speak up in support? Jessica only interrupts because she knows she can get away with it. Yes, a conversational tone on this board would be more productive. The meeting 2 weeks ago shows you can't behave that way. I've spoken to the deputies who have been on duty for these meetings. They will not volunteer for these meetings because they are so rotten, even the deputies can't stand how dysfunctional our board is. That is very telling, that what should be easy duty is so bad they won't volunteer for it, and I don't blame them. Paying the sheriff to babysit these meetings has been shown to be expensive and useless. You haven't intimidated public comment as intended, and you haven't improved your own behavior either. Whether you adopt a sergeant at arms tonight or not, please end the expensive presence of law enforcement. Ryan, please propose to keep the bus service as is for another year until more funding can be found. There is no issue other than Costco 20 years ago and the garbage fiasco that have generated more input from residents. This is clearly a lifeline to those who use the system, and we owe it to them to continue service. If this board is willing to spend $1.6 million on this building's geothermal HVAC and $300,000 to bail out Jessica's finance department, then you damn well better spend $300,000 to do the most green thing Scio Township does. Ryan, at the last meeting, I asked you a direct question twice about why you sent the letter to MLive. So did Kathy. You ignored both of us. Please give this board and the community a report on why you sent that letter and what you intended to have happen as the result of sending it. Kathleen, at the last meeting, we could clearly hear Barry.
Excuse me, please, deputy, please
Motion to recess.
warn the public.
This is illegal, Jillian.
No, it's not.
You are going to get us
They-
sued.
This is
No, we're not.
You are
unlawful.
going to get us sued.
This is a public comment period.
First Amendment.
Everybody is
Christie?
right of the public
Pause.
commenter, and it's interfering with
Not
the
your call.
public
Pause.
or the business of the township. Now, please, could we all be
Question?
respectful and allow our public to speak without interruption?
If you
Thank you.
stop threatening our public, Jillian, that's why we can't have a sergeant at arms, because you're going to falsely imprison someone
No,
before we know
Jessica,
it.
you are out of order.
I'd rather be
You are
out of order.
Motion for a
And on
recess.
the right
Rather than
side of this
recess.
question.
Out of order.
Insane, Jillian.
Yes, it is insane, Jessica.
I'll tell you what's insane. What's insane is sitting here and watching a bunch of flaming clowns not be able to do their flaming jobs. That's insane. I'm ashamed of you. All of you. For those who don't speak up and remain silent while this BS continues. Where was I?
You were on a foul.
Ryan's letter.
John?
Sorry.
Kathleen, at the last meeting, you,
Out of order,
Out of
please.
order, John.
You are not the moderator, Jessica.
But it wasn't fun.
Kathleen, at the last,
Okay, excuse me, we're taking a break. 5 minutes. Come back at 5 minutes to 7.
Rob, my apologies.